Greetings, my name is Hagai Davidoff, and I'm a composer from Israel. And I use all sorts of virtual instruments and a lot of MIDI controllers. I love MIDI controllers. And this short video is about Leap Motion Controller, which I've used to control my little Albion multi, which I've got loaded up here. Albion is a great software, great sample library by Spitfire Audio. So I've built a simple multi using all the main patches. The strings high, strings low, woodwinds high, woodwinds low, brass high, brass mid, brass low, and the basic percussion hits. And what I've done is put only two articulations, the short and the sustained. Now I've tried to make more complex multis than this and load all the articulations, doing all sorts of smart switching in the background using this stuff here, but apparently it's not perfect yet, and it taxes my CPU ridiculously high, so I've gave it up for the moment until they fix it, and I'm sure they will because they're a great company. And I've only used short and sustain. Now I've loaded up and set it up like this so it latches to controller 64, my foot switch. So once I push my sustain pedal, it automatically switches to the sustain, and it looks like this. So nothing too fancy here. Now I've got two sets of approaches. My first approach is using a very detailed template which has something like 100 MIDI tracks using great stuff from East West and LA Scoring Strings and Sunny Brass Core and you name it. But I recently tried to develop an approach to use as little tracks as I can, at least in the writing process. I'm not talking about the producing process, but at least for the writing stage. So what I've done is this. I've used Gecko, which is a very nice piece of software that goes along very well with the lip motion controller. I think it's the best MIDI software written for the lip motion controller so far. And it works pretty well. And what I've done is only used 3 motions, 4, apparently 4, and 3 of them are controlling the levels on my multi, which means when I use my left-right position, see, I'm doing it now. See the red one up here, this one. Now it's on the other hand. It sends MIDI data, and also the in and out sends MIDI data. Here we go. And also the left and right position and the up and down position and the in and out. I think I've covered them all now. And the last thing I've done is using the roll inclination to send the modulation wheel, number 1. I've MIDI learned them to be the level of the strings, the level of the high, woodwinds high and low, and the level of the brass. The percussion always plays once I push above 120 velocity. So it looks like this. When I raise my hand, I get the woodwinds. Hey, woodwinds. When I take my hands to the left, I get the strings. When I get push my hands forward, I get the brass. And as I've said, the percussion always plays, only when I hit velocity above 100, which basically I've done by just erasing velocity layers internally and like enhancing them chromatically. It's really ugly thing, but it works, so who cares? And when I roll my hand like this, you see the mod wheel? Hello, mod wheel. It turns. Now it's not perfect, but it's really nice. So in order to demonstrate it, I think I will move to my bigger keyboard. So see you in a sec. So I hope you can hear me as well as you've heard me before. So this is my setup. It's a Casio Previa PX150, which I've got an old M Audio Keystation Pro 88, which I totally killed and made this cute controller from it. And here's Mr. Leap motion controller, which means I won't be able to play the lows, and it's not an ideal place at all. I'm still working on finding a better place, but it works. So here we go. Let me just play. More woodwinds, less woodwinds. More dynamic. Strings. Brass. Let me just hold a chord now. As you can see, it's a great game, and I can play it for hours and get very inspired by doing this. And this is only one of the ideas I have for this controller. I can think about 1,000 things more to do with it, and probably will post them in the future. So I would like to thank the Leap Motion guys for doing this great controller, and Albion Software for doing this great software, and all these great developers out there who makes this great stuff that helps us get inspired and help us make better music. If you have any remarks, comments, or requests for future films, let me know and I will try and make something useful. And I hope you found useful ideas here or anything. So that's it. Thank you for stopping by, and I will see you on the next blog.